Hello, everyone. So happy to connect to each one of you all over again. My name is Sandhya Shri. I'm a holistic lifestyle coach practicing for the past 2 decades. A mother to two beautiful girls aged 17 and 21. We had such a successful 4 week program last month on mental health. There is always a way out. And we were so happy with the feedback we received from everybody. So, we at SHARAN are constantly trying to inspire people to look at this pandemic in a positive way. So, we are here with this program again, the pandemic positive. There is always a way out. And we have three young adults who are actually going to come on the show and tell us how they use this pandemic in a positive manner. We are in the middle of the year 2020, and it goes without saying that all of us, everyone, has really faced some challenges during this time. The several changes that we are seeing, coupled with these uncertainties and fear, is definitely making us very fearful, and we are in a situation where we don't know what to do. Yet, there is time to make the best out of it. Think about it. What if we utilize this time to transform our lives and reinvent ourselves? What if we utilize this worldly halt to magnify our skills and tap into the creative pursuits that we have within us? Think about it. When was the last time we had the time to pick up a new skill? I can't remember. Actually, this pandemic reminds me of the scientist Isaac Newton and how he used his time during the Great Plague. Isaac Newton was in his early 20s when the Great Plague of London hit. Having more time to experiment during the pandemic um, made him, during the pandemic, really made him think about a lot of things. And he changed his life. Sitting in his garden, watching the apple fall from the tree, actually made him interested in gravity. In the process, he started developing theory on gravity and optics. He landed up inventing calculus. So think about it. Whenever you feel stuck at home, think of the example Isaac Newton set. Just take advantage of the found time. I know it's very difficult to look at the pandemic positively. But when you look into the future, take a peek, and there can be a possibility that this can come to our advantage this unprecedented time. See, the secret behind feeling positive during this period is first disconnect from the feeling that you are in a situation of pandemic. Number two, think of those times when you actually came out of very difficult situations, those instances where you merged as a winner. Then you will draw strength that I did it then, I will do it again. Number three, maybe you can get inspired by some anecdotes. Fourth, and the final one I would like to say is just tap into your resilience is that you have within you. And you'll be amazed at what it can do to you and how positive you can feel. Change is certain at these times. So just think about it. How can I turn this into a positive phase in my life? Exactly what these three young adults did. Use the pandemic in a very positive way. Without further ado, let me invite my first guest, Anusha Segal.
Hi.
Hi, Anusha. So happy to have you here.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here too.
Anusha is just 15 years old and she is a Kathak dancer. She has a lot of interest in coding and actually she developed her own website, Let's Connect 2020. She's doing her 11th grade at 11th grade IBDP at Jamnabai, Mumbai, and she is a sensitive human being. Let's hear her story and get inspired. So, Anusha, tell me something. When the lockdown was declared, where were you? What was the space you were in? What were you doing?
So before the lockdown, we were all like I was preparing for my 10th grade boards because they were only 2 weeks away. And when the lockdown got announced, everybody was in this frenzy and this panic because everybody was like so confused whether our board exams were going to happen and whether those 2 years of hard work would have paid off. But so yeah, those were my initial emotions during the when it got announced. So yeah.
So, your board exams got cancelled. That's what I gather.
So yeah, eventually they ended up getting cancer, and I have so much free time on my hands, and I had absolutely no clue what to do.
Okay. Anusha, you were not very audible. It got cancelled and you had a lot of time. That's what you said, right?
Yeah, I had a lot of time on my hands, and I was completely idle, and I had absolutely no clue what to do.
Okay. So how did this process of using this time well? Because I think you had a lot more time than others because you had a long gap for your 11th grade to start. So what are the kind of emotions you went through? Were you angry? Were you sad? Did you feel let down that you could not get a score for what you studied for? Because all of us want to get scored and show how well we are doing in life. Did you also fall into that kind of a path?
Yeah, naturally I was a bit upset and a bit disappointed that, two whole years of hard work, I didn't exactly get to showcase it in my board exams. However, we did end up getting grades, and luckily mine were quite good, so I was happy about that. So, I had so much free time on my hands, so I just, I ended up calling a lot of my family members, and I called my grandparents, my nani, and my dadi. So I called my nanny who lives in New York, and he has a really small apartment there. And she said that she's usually a person who loves physical activity. So I gave her a call, and she was like, "I'm feeling really anxious and I don't know what to do." And then she's like, "I want to start drawing classes." So
Okay.
yeah, so I felt really bad that, she couldn't be herself, she couldn't go outdoors. Then after that, I spoke to my dadi, and she actually does the singing kitty once in every month, and she missed singing with her friends. So yeah.
Okay, so when you realize that they're looking for something, what did your mind think? What were you conceiving in your head? Did it automatically come, the idea of doing something for them? Or was it that, you saw other people also around you, maybe in your building, in your society, your family, close family?
So the idea of stay connected actually started from my nani and my dadi. I did essentially feel very disheartened to see them like that. So I think that's how the idea sprung. Yeah.
Okay. So what was your idea? So what did you conceive in your head? What was the idea?
So I thought of, starting webinars for senior citizens like them to, keep them active and engaged during the lockdown and, take their mind off the pandemic because they are the most vulnerable out there. And, constantly being exposed to the news in the beginning, there was so much panic going around, and, I felt really bad. So I think that that's how the idea sprung, that, I have to keep them entertained.
So, but did you think of this because most old people are not technology savvy? And I gather that most of your webinars happened on Zoom. So, how did you think that you will be able to break those barriers? Did you think that will this work? Where did the confidence come from?
So initially it was quite a big hurdle because I can tell you for a fact, I have helped my grandparents in such simple things like sending a text out. So initially, I was really apprehensive, like how will I get them on Zoom? How will I build a WhatsApp group, Facebook platform? Then I realized that it's not that difficult. They're very capable people. So they're comfortable with WhatsApp. That I know that for sure. They're comfortable with Facebook. Zoom was a bit of a hurdle, so I actually made a video of myself teaching them how to join in Zoom meeting. And yeah, and then if anybody needed any further assistance, I was always available on call. So that's how I overcame that hurdle.
Okay, that's so beautiful. Is this video available online for other older people, elderly people to watch?
Well, no, I only actually share it on my group. But in the future, I will be conducting a technology webinar for senior citizens on basic stuff like how to order Uber, how to do online transactions, how to order groceries, simple stuff like that. So I will try and make that available online.
Oh, that's wonderful. It's a very, very good idea. You must do something on that. So these
Yeah.
webinars, how many of them did you conduct in the last 4 months?
So we've conducted about 30 webinars.
Okay.
And we've had them over like a huge range of topics now. So we've done them over informative topics like diabetes management, hypertension, skincare. Then we've done on how to boost your immunity. And we've also done a few fun ones, obviously. So we've done art, we've done singing and karaoke, we've done hair and makeup since a large majority of our audience is women. So, we've
Okay.
done a lot of these ideas, and yeah, and a lot of it's been from Sharan's help, obviously, and thanks to Reena Auntie who's advised me and put me in touch with so many people.
Okay. So is there any particular webinar you have a great takeaway and you want to share it with our audience?
So actually, there's this NGO. It's called Project Mumbai. They're at the forefront of leading the battle against COVID-19 here, and
Okay.
so I got in touch with the CEO, and he agreed to do a webinar with us on how to give back to society. So I think one of the main takeaways I actually took away from that was that, he said that to volunteer or to give back, it's not necessary to give this huge sum of money or to physically go and volunteer. It's, simple tasks like just for example, buying a few groceries for your neighbor or anything where you can lend a helping hand.
Oh, that's a lovely feedback. I'm making a note of it. Okay. Okay, so but tell me something, Anusha. When you develop this idea and it takes time to take off, and then you have one, two, to come to 30, I'm sure you must have had feeling of low, and you'll be like, I can't do this. I'm not at it. Maybe this is not my calling. Did you go through that feeling of low? Because how did you go? What is the feeling that you went through? That's what I would like to know first.
Well, yeah, definitely. I did feel low at times. Um, there was this time at the beginning, once we just started our webinars, where people would just join the WhatsApp group and they'd assume that we'd only have like one webinar or something, and then there would be like 30 people joining, and at once 30 people leaving. So it took
Okay.
some time to, build that community. So, once we built that community, I think it got much more established. But I think the way I overcame uh, my feelings where I felt bad and all was these constant words of encouragement after each and every one of my webinar. There are people who, they send me these WhatsApp messages saying, thank you so much. We really enjoyed today's webinar. Obviously, my parents are a huge help. And I think one instance which really struck me was this lady in my building who I've never spoken to. And I was playing downstairs with my sister, and she just walked up to me and she's like, "Thank you so much for organizing these webinars. I keep my time out during those days, and I look forward to them." So I think that really, really, lifted my spirits and helped me continue.
Oh, that's so lovely. Imagine touching people's life in a way that we don't even know we are making such a difference. It's so amazing. At 15 to have this sensitivity and actually reach out to so many old people. It's amazing, Anusha. I'm feeling so nice
Thank you.
talking to you.
Thank
So
you.
when the high is when you get that feedback, and the low period is when you saw, okay, I'm making a difference, and you kept at it. So to be persistent, can you tell me a few tips that you can give people how to go towards if they have a goal, they want to do something. how to get inspired or inspire others? What are the kind of tips you'll give them? One or two tips that you can
I
give
mean,
them.
I'd say that, you have to be inspired. You cannot become inspired. However, if you want to give back to society, like I said before, and what Mr. Shishir Joshi, the CEO of Project Mumbai, actually told me was that you don't have to donate some 100,000 rupees or touch 100,000 lives. You just have to do simple everyday tasks where you just lend a helping hand. Like, for example, give a call to a lonely senior citizen in your building, or buy a toy for a child in need. You will feel like they will feel happy, and then you'll also have this sense of personal satisfaction. So I'd say that, it doesn't matter how elaborate your gesture is, as long as you're making a difference.
Yes, it's really valuable. I think it's really nice, and we all should try and have this as a pointer in our lives. You just want to just do whatever you can. Don't think only a big amount can make a difference. So
Yeah.
now that you are back to school and you're studying, what are your future plans? Because there's something that you have envisioned, and you had time at that time. Now that you have so many things to multitask, how do you think you can take this project forward?
So now, definitely, since like school has started, I have reduced the frequency of our webinars. Before we used to have it thrice a week. Now we have it. We try to have it once, or we try to have it at least twice or thrice in a month.
Okay.
So, but I will obviously try and continue stay connected 2020 for as long as I can. And as long as people are enjoying it, are being entertained, I really want to continue. So yeah.
Okay. So, divine grace, I'm sure you'll be able to. So, you have a WhatsApp group of how many members?
So our WhatsApp group is 350 participants. However, we also do have a Facebook group of 700. So
Wow.
whatever you're more comfortable with.
Okay. So, what is your Facebook group called?
Stay connected 2020.
Stay Connected 2020. Okay. So, whoever is listening to Anusha Segal, it's Stay Connected 2020. So, you can always look for it on Facebook and become part of this group, and she'll add you in. So wonderful, Anusha, talking to you, and I'm really inspired. So let me just get my second guest on this talk. Thank you, Anusha. We will shortly join you again for the Q&A.
All right.
Hi, Diya.
Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you so much for joining us.
My
So
pleasure.
everybody, this is Diya Gupta, a very talented aspiring chef, and she is studying hotel management in Aurangabad, and she is a vegan for the last 3 years, and she's very passionate. And I can't begin to tell you how interesting, simple, and beautiful she is as a person. So, Dia, when the lockdown was announced, where were you?
I was back in Aurangabad in my hostel, and in
Okay,
around 1 month, our exams were going to start, our first year exams.
okay,
So, all my
okay,
roommates and I were about to start studying, getting our books out for our first year exams. And that's
okay,
when the shock hit us.
okay. So, did you even know the concept of lockdown at that time? Did you know this concept?
Honestly, Aurangabad is a very small city, so I never thought it's going to affect Aurangabad. I thought it might affect big cities like Bombay, Delhi, and since Aurangabad is
Okay,
small, it won't affect us. But suddenly it
mm,
happened, and I was like,
okay,
oh, okay. And I was stuck in my hostel for some time because we couldn't leave once the lockdown got announced.
okay.
So yeah,
So,
and all my
what
roommates
was
and
your,
I were
okay, all the roommates, all of you, what was the kind of
yeah.
emotion you went through? Were you happy, or was it like a kind of fear that came in, or it did not hit you in the initial 1 month?
So the initial thing was fear because we were stuck in Aurangabad and we all wanted to go home and it was new for us. But suddenly we were excited because the exams got cancelled and we were like, oh yeah, no more studying. And then
Okay.
it slowly crept towards boredom because we had nothing else to do.
Hmm.
And that's when it all started getting very boring suddenly, very monotonous. And yeah,
Hmm. Okay. So when did you get back to Mumbai?
so I got back in the after the first phase of the lockdown. So I came back in around
Okay.
April.
Okay. Okay. So
Yeah.
once you came back to Mumbai, so did you right away start thinking about what to do, or you just chill like any other teenager and was enjoying your space? What was your first reaction?
It was chill. It was absolutely chill. It started with a lot
Okay.
of Netflix and TV shows, and I was like, oh my god, so much free time. And I just got back from college, from the hectic life of college. So I was really excited for
Okay.
the ample free time I had, and I enjoyed. I missed
Okay.
home, so I was just relaxing all day.
Okay. Okay. So when did that actual moment of thinking start? That maybe I've done enough of this binge watching, or I want to do something more. Where did that hunger arise?
I used to anyways cook at home every day because I used to try new
Okay.
recipes, more vegan desserts and stuff. And I used to go through
Okay.
Instagram pages. My Instagram feed was filled with food. So I used to see food
Okay.
pictures, lots of food pictures and videos. And I was like, I can do something similar, And my pictures were
Mm,
pretty good. And I
mm.
had some encouragement from friends, and I was like, okay, maybe I should start an Instagram page. I can showcase my work
Okay.
and promote veganism and stuff. So I thought I might. I thought I was thinking about starting a page, and then
Okay.
the lockdown helped me take a leap.
Okay. So when you
Yeah.
started this Instagram page, did you like look for instant gratification that now that I'm on Insta, I need to get so many likes. This is what I am like. No, did you get obsessed with the idea of being on Insta, or it was just that suddenly you had a platform to just show that actually you can do wonders with vegan food?
At first, it was slow to pick up because only my friends followed me, and people didn't know much about vegan stuff, and even I was new to the whole setting up a page and stuff. So it took me a while to get used to, but it picked up slowly, and
Okay.
it gave me a lot of chances to work and get me meet new people, new vegans all around, and it was a great
Okay.
decision
So
I
can
took.
you tell us about the kind of people you connected to?
So my first live video was with growing up eating, and I made vegan banoffee pie for them. And then slowly, I
Okay.
also worked with this person called Chef Nilesh Limai. He's a pretty famous chef in Taj, Bombay. So I did a few
Okay.
videos with him about vegan desserts and a lot of food. And
Okay.
I was teaching him about veganism because he didn't know much about vegan food. He was just a regular. He
Okay.
was a famous chef, but he didn't know much about the whole vegan thing. So it felt really good to
Okay.
share my knowledge with someone like much older than me, in fact. So that was
Okay.
good.
So
And
tell us about your vegan journey. How did you become a vegan?
so I turned vegan around 3 years ago, and it was because of the Ahimsa Fest. And even Sharan set up so many demos, and I learned the dairy alternatives. And I saw the videos, the movie screenings, and I just couldn't turn back because I had this thing with animals. I was very sensitive towards them, and I was always vegetarian. So after seeing those
Okay.
videos, you can't close your eyes any longer. And my family and I turned vegan like together. It was a combined decision.
Okay. Lucky you that you had the
Yeah,
whole family
yeah,
together.
yeah.
That's
I had to
nice.
force my dad, but yeah,
Okay. That's really nice. When the whole family turns vegan, it's a lot more easier.
yeah,
And it's so nice, and you're so vibrant and happy to see you like this. It's so nice. So you were meeting vegan chefs even during the pandemic and teaching them stuff. It's a great feeling. You
yeah.
actually went on to do a lot for society too. Do you want to talk to us about
Of
that?
course. So around 2 weeks ago, I gave 1,000 boxes for charity for this company called Million Dollar Vegan, and it's an
Okay.
international company, and they work with a lot in different countries. They find people. So I was helping out. I made them 1,000 boxes of peanut butter truffles, and we put
Okay.
sanitizers, masks, and with a small vegan pamphlet about veganism in Hindi so they can connect. And all these were given to women and children in Kamatipura to help them out during the pandemic. So I think this was the
Okay.
highlight of my entire page. So it was a great
Oh my
opportunity working
God.
for them. Yes,
Yes,
and
I'm
1,000
sure it's
boxes in
amazing.
1 week. Yeah, it was really exhausting, but it was fun as well. 1,000 boxes in 1 week was pretty tough for me as well, but managed.
Okay.
Yeah,
But did you get some help? Did you do it all by yourself? What did you do?
my family helped me a little bit. It was fine, and plus,
Okay.
since I had a lot of free time, I didn't mind working like long hours as well because I know this is how the future is going to be as well because chefs tend to work long hours. So I was ready for it, and I was really excited to help out. So it kept me going.
Mm. So tell me something, Dia. It's nice when we get that feedback, nice when we get opportunities, but when you initially started, the opportunities would not have been there. So how did you
Yeah.
keep up that tempo in you, that to keep going, to keep your spirits high? Because the pandemic, most of us find it very difficult to just keep up that josh. So how did you do it?
So once I started the page, like I said, only my friends were following me and wasn't such a big thing. But slowly, I also did a lot of. I had since even after the page started, I had some free time. So I started doing classes. I did a few SHARAN classes as well that I thoroughly enjoyed, and I kept myself busy. I kept doing research. I tried new recipes, and I always kept my page engaging. I tried to post as much as I can, and then I started getting orders as well. So I started taking vegan
Okay.
orders, so that
Hmm.
it took time, but slowly, and then people approached me for live videos. I even did one live video for the Ahimsa Fest. So it took time, but it picked up, and I'm just so happy I took this initiative, and I think it's a great. I'm just so proud I took the initiative.
But tell me something. Did you go through a low at any point?
Yeah, in the beginning of the page, the thing is, I used to scroll through Instagram, and there were 1,000 pages similar to mine, more than 1,000 to be honest. And there's so many food pages. Everybody at home, makes stuff, and it's really good. The pictures look good. So I was trying to think what differentiates me from them, and I was a little unsure. Maybe my page won't pick up. There are 1,000 pages out there. Plus, people may not like vegan stuff. Like we have this whole vegan community, but still, it's still very small compared to the entire world. So I was not sure it will pick up fast, and there was a little low. Maybe I made a mistake. Maybe I posted too fast, or maybe I started the page too soon. So that was always there. But once it
Okay.
started engaging, it got better.
So basically, you just kept going and telling yourself that you should just look at it positively, that now that you have time, let me just keep doing. So not
Yeah,
worrying about the result. That's nice.
yeah.
So the what is the kind of people who inspired you to do this? Is there anybody who inspired you in this journey?
So, I mean, I've been a vegan for 3 years, so I've learned a lot of vegan food from around, a lot of events and stuff. And I thought, I mean, in inspiration, I think a lot of people have inspired me. The whole vegan community has inspired me. I keep trying new recipes. All the vegan chefs we know, and from SHARAN as well, from other plant-based companies. And they've all inspiration. They all had pages, and they all were posting such wonderful stuff. I used to get SHARAN notifications of yummy food, the recipes as well. So I used to keep trying them
Okay.
out, and I was like, yeah, I should start something of my own too. And I think I should
Okay.
start, just take a leap of, we'll see what happens later. Let's just try. And the worst case scenario, I can just shut the page down. It's no big deal. I mean, it was for fun. I started for myself, and yeah.
Okay. But tell me, now that you have time, you've done this. If you go back to college, how would you engage your audience? Do you have any future plans for your Insta page? And because you're so passionate about what you do, now when you go back to school, it's going to be a lot more different. So, what are your thoughts about all this? Is there anything working
So
on your head?
yeah. So as of now, I have realized my page may get slower once college starts. So I think I'll keep some backup posts ready that I can use once I get to college. And then maybe it'll be
Okay.
slower, but I can still try how much ever I can. And in college we don't really make a lot of vegan stuff as such. So how much ever I can try. And we'll see. I keep some backup posts ready. I keep some, I'll start something else. Maybe the page can start maybe just some health tips or some vegan, more of maybe less of recipes and more of just vegan facts and stuff that I can pick up from the internet and like read about them or share some vegan content. So let's see.
Okay.
So as of now, that's
Okay.
the tentative plan.
So now we have so many people watching you. So do you have any tip to give to the viewers and say, this is something that worked for me, try it out?
So before I started my page, that's the vegan gal, I always knew I wanted to do something in food. Plus, I used to like art as well. So I definitely knew what my passion and what my hobbies were, and then I tried to build on that. So I'm sure everyone has something they have in mind, even if it's dancing, singing, anything, any passion. And if you haven't discovered your hobby or passion yet, just do a few courses, look up online, see what touches your heart, and just try to build up on that. So for me, it was food. Food was a passion. I tried to build on that. So just find your
Okay.
talent, and you can try to start over there. Try to showcase that. Try to work on that.
Okay.
Improve that. Yeah,
Mm-mm.
pretty much it.
So
Just
just
tried it.
follow it. So just follow your passion.
Yes.
Everything else will fall in place.
Yeah.
So nice speaking to you, Dia. So we will bring you back for the question and answer session. And now let's bring on our third and the final guest. Hello, Sarah.
Hi.
Thank you for joining us from all the way from Chikmagalur.
Thank you for having me, and I'm so glad I could do this.
So, everybody, this is Sarah Pinto, our very own baby of SHARAN. She's been working with SHARAN for past many years. She volunteers with us and also freelances. She is a very creative person. She's an educator. She has keen interest in environment, and she's such a happy, effervescent, joyful person. So happy to have Sarah here.
Thank you. I'm so happy too.
So, Sarah, where were you when this lockdown was announced?
So I was in Mumbai when, as soon as the lockdown got announced, I had just come for 2 days to visit, few days to visit my parents, and 2 days into reaching, the lockdown happened, and I had no way of going back to my place in Auroville. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So, what were you doing in Auroville before the lockdown? So, tell us a little about what you do in Auroville.
So I live in Auroville for the past 1 year, almost now. It's going to become 2 years soon, and I started a restaurant there. And the best part was that at that point of time, our restaurant had just settled down. I could actually take I could breathe, and I had just figured out my first dance workshop because I'm a dancer as well. I've trained in jazz. So my first ever workshop, I was going to take it within like 10 to 15 days, and it was planned. The promotional videos were all done, everything was ready, and then the lockdown happened, and I couldn't go back for that. I had a whole community of vegan friends over there, which was unimaginable. I couldn't imagine going to another city all by myself and end up with a whole community. So I had good friends, good people. I had my restaurant, my work, my boyfriend. Everybody was there in Auroville, and then suddenly it was not.
Okay, so when so much you had and you came to Mumbai and you're stuck in a lockdown, though you were happy that you're with your parents in a
Yes.
safe place, I'm sure you would have gone through extreme emotions of feeling low or that when will this be sorted out? How did you pick yourself up and make these positive moves?
So I was very lucky to have my parents, which is like a cushion of love and happiness all around me. And it was amazing. I'm so lucky, touch wood. But at the same time, Auroville being such a social place, it's like a mix between a city and a village. So we socialize, we meet our friends every day. We have lunch together, we have dinner together. So it was very, very frustrating for me to be stuck in an apartment. I had my own house. I had my cats. I had farm right opposite me. I had the nature. I could see the stars. And over here, I'm suddenly stuck in an apartment. But lucky that I had my family. But it was still quite frustrating to not see my friends and my, everything like that. But my mom was there, who really helped me through. And my dad has an organic shop, so he was just powering through, doing all his work during the pandemic when nobody else was out. He was there with our full family out there. And mom had me on like affirmations like medicine, like morning, afternoon, evening affirmations. And so yeah, I was doing a lot of things to make sure I was focusing on the positive side and not what I was losing out on.
So your definitely a big takeaway to fight the low feeling is to go on affirmations, and it can really help. That's what you're
Yeah,
saying.
yeah. I feel like I affirmed everything that happened to me during the, even maybe the everything that happened was, given to me by the universe, because I just kind of let go and I trusted, like, okay, everything is taking a certain path. I'm not going to like feel sad about it and resist it, and just let it flow. And I think that's
Okay.
just, yeah.
Okay, so tell me something, Sarah. You came up with this concept of educating children during the pandemic. How did
Mhm.
you find this love for teaching? And actually, you connected the teaching with the environment too, because you have love for environment also. So tell us a little about how you conceived the idea. How did you go about executing it? I know, what
Mhm.
was your inspiration?
So when I started out working with Sharan, I also worked with Rena, who's the Sharan Mumbai head. I worked with her for like 10 months teaching, as well as assisted her in her own creative writing classes. But I never knew it was going to come of use somewhere in the future. I was just doing it because I had time, so might as well do something. And at this point, I was actually under a lot of stress because I'm just 20, and back in Oroville, I have my own house, I have a bike, I have my groceries, and all of that I was paying by myself, which is I'm so proud of myself to have that achievement. But when the lockdown happened, the restaurant was also affected, just like every other, restaurant all over India. So I had no income, and at the same time, I had like 10 cats who needed immediate neutering. So there were so many things happening, and I was like a little like scared, and I don't want to ask money from my dad and my parents. And I was like, what to do? And that's when Rena Auntie started sending me messages from like a lot of Sharan people asking, we have our young kids. You guys are doing so many classes for older people. What about for young kids? My mom also got. And then Dr. Nandita emailed me saying that this is a beautiful platform to do something, raise funds for something. So I thought, hey, might as well use this amazing platform to raise funds for my cats. And
Wow,
yeah, that's how it happened.
that's
I was just thinking of
amazing.
doing it for just 1 month just to reach my goal amount, but yeah, I couldn't stop.
Amazing, Sarah. They say, when your intentions are pure, the universe really works for you. And,
For
the
sure.
right people come together and, your everything happens. It's so nice.
Mhm.
So tell me, how do you connect the environment with this writing? So you talk to children about environment in your creative workshops?
So I do it. I don't want to like, because I'm an activist and I've been an activist for like the first 4 years when I was a vegan, like hardcore. And I
Hmm.
realized that I don't want to, put so much energy into the pain and the suffering of the animals and the problems that's happening with the environment is just so like, it's happening, but negative things happen all the time. It depends on what you focus on, right? So I didn't want to focus on the negative aspects at all with the kids, because it's such a pure time to help them blossom into something in a positive way, not with like, negative kind of a thing. So I don't talk to them about it directly, but all our topics, every single topic that I do in class is solely focused on nature or animals, and just putting them in the, even like in this the weather, talking to them about the weather, putting them in the shoes of a mountain and what are the mountains going through, making up their own ecosystem, putting themselves in the shoes of animals, of what are they thinking during the lockdown, what's happening, zoos, relating the lockdown with zoos and how it's going on for them, for the whole life it's been like that. So kids relate to it so beautifully. I had once one exercise where I made them the president of the India, and asked them to come up with what would they do for helping. We learned something about birds and what are they going through and all that. And then I asked them to come up with what they would do if they were president. And it was so interesting to see, because the sky is the limit for them. So they're not like
Correct.
constrained with material, physical things as us. So they were just like going for it with beautiful, speeches and yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah. When we set out to do something for the animals open every possible door and
Mhm.
window for us. I've seen that, and these animals have that energy. Animal spirits really, really back us. It's
Of course.
amazing. So nice to hear what you've done. So, did more opportunities open up for you by you doing this?
Yeah, so I was only supposed to do like one batch for 1 month until I reach my goal amount. But then I started, the kids loved me and I loved the kids, and I was so shocked. And the parents were like calling me and they were messaging me like, "Oh, are you stopping? Is this only for 1 month? And my child has never been invested in a class like this. Like, they actually look forward to it, do the homework, and they're like, when is next class? Log in early on Zoom and stuff like that." So I was like, okay, now I can't back out. And I got a video from a really small little kid who was saying that you are amazing, you talk. And I was like, okay, so I have to go ahead. And from having one batch from the first month, I now have 3 batches of creative writing, one batch of a book reading session with kids. And I also got an opportunity for, teaching other kids, like outside, like face to face and stuff like that.
Okay, very nice. And also, you've been helping people with homeschooling, right?
Yes, of course. So, what happened was I was talking about my creative writing when I went back to Oroville. Like, my friends and all, everybody knew because I would post all these little cards and all that the kids used to send me. They were drawing a picture of me with my earphones and all. So I used to post it on Instagram. And like through that, one parent approached my friend, and they asked, like, right now they have to do online schooling, and it's not the same. It's really not the same. And there's two drastic types of education. One is like the normal society where you're just learning, and you're learning things you might not even use in your actual life. Like, I dropped out of college, but the amount of experience that I have, it's nothing compared to what I could have ever learned in school. So this parent was like, we want an alternative type of teaching, but something that will make him ready for the world. He's not left skillless. And I'm so happy that I can experiment, and he's ready to let me experiment this new type of teaching with his son. And we're doing all subjects, so it's just not creative writing. And all my classes start with a value based thing, like something to build on their values. With the help of Rena, I've learned all of this from her. So yeah, so I'm getting to do that, and I'm super super excited. And plus, maybe the father is a big businessman, so he said that he was looking to invest into something like a new alternate teaching that will help society. So maybe if this works out with this kid, I don't know, I want to make sure it grows bigger, and you could make course materials for kids. And I'm just telling what my idea is: make the course material for kids, and then sponsor kids from like the rural areas, and see what we can do from there. I think it's just so many doors are opening up. I don't know what's going to happen.
I'm sure your future plans really sound good. So, tell me something for the viewers. If you have to give them a positive tip, what would that be?
So I realized one thing for sure during this lockdown was self care, because I was so much into my work and everything. I didn't focus on taking care of myself. That means physically as well as mentally. So I realized doing affirmations morning, afternoon, evening, listening to Shivani from Brahma Kumari, her talks from there, and just make sure I'm in a positive space, doing meditation and all that. I realized that helps me sustain. Even my physical workouts helps me sustain so that I don't kind of burn out when I'm doing something, because it becomes very hectic. Because right now I'm doing my classes, creative writing classes, homeschooling, SHARAN, and just juggling all of this, and it gets very hectic. But all of this just keeps you balanced. So that is one thing that I realize is super important for you to sustain your work. Another thing was trust the universe. That I really, now whenever I am like, oh my god, I need to make a decision, what am I going to do, what am I going to do, I'm just like, okay, relax. Like, she knows best what's there for you, what you need to do, then you know yourself. Like, I thought I was going to go into dancing or something like that, never thought I would go into teaching. So she knows what's best for you, and I just need to believe her. And yeah, giving back to nature and society, then miracles happen.
Lovely, Sarah. So nice hearing you. So, let me just have a chat with the audience for a few minutes, and I'll bring all three of you back on screen to answer the Q&A.
Sure.
Okay? Thank you. So, everybody there who've been listening just like me, I'm sure you have picked up loads and loads of positive tips on how to deal with the pandemic. But I want to highlight a few points before we bring the children back, these young adults. As a mom to grown up children, I'm really, really amazed at the way these kids have bloomed. Beautiful, the way they have looked at things. Some things, a big takeaway for me would be like how Anusha said, don't try to look for a big amount, a big way to contribute. Start with a very small amount, starting from just making a phone call, just saying hello to a person in your building who's staying alone. Just spend that time to find that time to just say hello. It can make a difference. Let's not get into the number game that I need to reach 10 people, 100 people, 1,000 people. Just reaching one person is just enough. Rena and I always discuss this. If our talk can make a difference to even 0.1% of the population, we will be so, so happy. Or just 10 people in this in Mumbai, we will be so happy. So I think volunteering, doing something unconditionally without having an agenda is a definite tip to stay positive during this period. The second tip given by Diya. Diya Gupta told us she's just 19 years old. She was smiling, she was happy all the time. Look at the way she just started an Insta page and then she landed up giving 1,000 boxes of peanut truffle to the homeless. What she told us was, if you're passionate, that's enough. Rest will follow. And that's what she did. She did what she loves to do. And everything else fell in place. Because that love comes out in the way you speak or do things. And people know you genuinely want to do something. And the right people will get attracted to you. Your vibe attracts the tribe. And that's what happened. And last but not the least, Sarah beautifully told us that how important it is to do self care. We are so involved in bringing the best out of others that we forget about ourselves and our internal premise. So don't forget there is this premise inside that we need to care for. And one of the ways she did it was write affirmations, exercise, or listen to some inspiring leaders. If you ask me, just making you part of your life and saying I exist itself is very important. Many times we forget that we are existing. All that we see is outside us. So very often we need to touch ourselves and say, actually, I am there. I need to look after myself. Because if you're happy, everybody around you will also be happy. Because it will be infectious and it will spread to all everybody else. And the most important thing, like how Sarah said, trust the universe. If something doesn't work out, it's okay. Something will come up and there will be something better that will come out of this unprecedented time. And the most important thing I would like to say, because we at SHARAN want to inspire people. We don't want any child who's watching this show to feel, oh my God, they have done so many things with their life and we haven't done anything. No, that's not our intention. All we want to say is start something and do it unconditionally and do whatever you like to do. If you like dancing, have a dance class for somebody. Or if you just can stay happy and positive in your mental health, there'll be one person less to worry about because you're taking care of yourself. So please take care of yourself, stay positive, and always remember there is a way, there is always a way out. And that's what we are trying to tell you people. To all the children out there, we are proud that you are staying home and staying positive. Thank you so much, all the children who are watching us. So now, bringing back our three able young adults back to answer the questions that are coming to us. And we'll be excited to hear what everybody wants to ask them. And it will be beautiful to connect with the audience.
So right
So,
before this webinar, I made this vegan cake and this is for an
okay,
order. Yeah, so
okay,
I'm told to show it to you all. So I made this for an order right before the webinar started.
okay. Thank you so much. So there are people telling such a lovely, inspiring, cheerful, mature, sensitive and sensible young ladies. A delightful session indeed. Someone else also said so many things. It's coming fast. So what kind of affirmation did your mom share with you, Sarah? Could you please share?
So sure. Actually, I have sections of my affirmations depending on what I'm going through that day. so,
Okay.
so when I have like a fight with somebody, then I will work on forgiveness, myself and them. Then, if I want to do creatively, so before I do all my creative writing workshops, I do my creative section of my affirmations. When I'm low on like I have to pay rent, I have to pay my bike rent, and all that stuff, I go for my prosperity affirmations. So all you need to do is go on YouTube, type in Louise Hay affirmations, and just scroll through, and he has so many of them. Just and then you'll soon find it. Like there's many online. So Louise
Okay.
Hay, yeah, that's what I follow.
Okay. So Louis Hay is what she's saying. So go online, you have a lot of it. Dia, how do you manage in learning and tasting dishes which are not vegan? Monica wants to know.
I actually don't taste them. I just have to cook them. They don't force you to taste
Okay.
them. So even the
Okay.
cooking part, we work in pairs. So I make my partner do
Okay.
most of the work, and I just like
Okay.
sit. And then, if my exam, I obviously had to do it, but I don't taste it. I ask my friends to taste it
Okay.
and stuff. I don't taste it. I'm very
Okay.
strict about that.
Okay. Okay. That's a smart move. And it shows you have a lot of confidence. And it's always good to have these friends around who can always
Yeah.
double up for us. Yeah. So we have Anusha. Please add me in your group. She's Monica Subhani. I'm a senior citizen and really scared of technology. Trying to learn little by little, but can't buy online except WhatsApp ordering. We need young children like you to teach us. Wow.
Um,
So, Monica,
you know,
uh,
yeah, I'll definitely just maybe, I think, yeah, the Facebook thing is called Stay Connected 2020. So if you'd like, you can follow that. And I will try and have a technology session as soon as I can. So, yeah, I'll keep you updated about that.
okay, very good. Poonam Ahuja is asking, super session, truly positively inspiring for other children. Thanks, all great going. Good job, girls. Pankaj says, fantastic future bright hair boss. So somebody's thanking Sharan. Thank you so much for this event. Learning from kids, and these kids are going to bring smile to all children. I'm sure, Monica ji, that is going to happen. Okay. So coming to back to three of you, how do you feel coming online and sharing your experience? How does it feel to be talking about your baby? So let's start, Sarah.
Sure, I love that because I really have seen the difference in the kids. Like I was just telling Sandhishri the other day that I actually normally when I notice some things in the kids, the way they've changed, I know it because I've put that effort to make sure, oh, that kid is feeling a little sad, so we'll pump them up, talk about them a little more, we'll say their names. Everybody's discussing how to get their writing better and stuff like that. So I know how their flow is going, but I didn't know that the kids know that how their flow is going. So last week, one of the child said, she's very quiet and she's like, Sarah, I really wanted to say thank you in front of the whole class that, I have changed a lot. In my other classes, I'm very quiet, but in this class with other kids and everything, I have made so many friends online. So these kids are not even anywhere close to each other. One's maybe in Dubai, UK, India, somewhere here, somewhere there. So I realized I want kids to have this, safe space where they can talk to me. And after class, we sit for like 20 minutes with like three of these 7-year-old kids, and we're just discussing some things in our lives and all that. So I want kids to have a space and I want kids to have a good teacher. So I think that's very important. I had an amazing mentor with Rena Auntie. So I'm very lucky that way. But I want other kids to be able to have this opportunity. So talking about it, yes, for sure. I want, people to know so that they can come and maybe build something out of it. I don't know. Yeah.
Nice, very nice. Dia?
I think it was a wonderful opportunity, and I thank you for this opportunity. And I'm hoping, I'm really glad I started this page, and I'm really fascinated, and I'm wondering where it's going to
So
take me next.
what is the name of your page?
The vegan gal.
Pardon?
So
The
I'm just
vegan?
excited for the page. The vegan gal,
Okay.
GAL.
Oh, okay, okay.
So yeah.
You can show the cake once more.
Oh
Some of
yeah.
them want to see.
Yeah.
Yes, yes,
So this is
Neelam.
for an
Louis
order that I
A.
made right now. So I
Okay.
made this for a cake for an
Wow.
order right now, for like before the
Ah,
session started.
looks amazing.
Oh, I want a bite of it. Okay. So you are happy to be talking about this, and we
Yes,
really hope you make more and more such lovely dishes and come up with things
yes,
which are
and inspire
environment friendly
people
too.
to, yes, inspire people to go vegan. Try it.
Yes, yes, yes. And I think I forgot to mention, Diya is only 19 years old and Sarah is only 20 years old. And they're so young, but they're so focused and they're loving what they're doing. So, Anusha, how are you feeling, the baby in the group?
So, well, I definitely feel great coming here and sharing, what I've done. I'd especially like to thank Reina Auntie. She has been such a huge help in all of this. She's helped me put me in touch with so many people, given me great advice. So, it really feels good to, share the kind of work that I'm doing. And I hope that, if there are any senior citizens watching this, that, they feel free to come and connect with me and possibly, be a part of this community.
Neelu's asking, Anusha, what kind of new seminars can we expect on Stay Connected coming up?
So, well, we have, like I mentioned, we're probably going to have a technology one for senior citizens. And then, yeah, an upcoming webinar, which I just confirmed about an hour ago, was we're going to have a chef come and show us some salads and basic snacks. So, yeah.
Okay, okay, that's nice. So the one which is going to come up is on salads. And salads are really important and they add a lot of fiber and it's immunity booster. So I think I'm all for salads. We at Sharan always add a salad to our meals. Okay, so we are just coming to the end of the show. I can't thank you in words for coming on the show. It's so fantastic. And we are very, very happy that such young adults are so tuned into what the society requires. And you have actually inspired people to use this pandemic in a positive way. Keep going, keep doing these positive things. And we from Sharan really, really wish you a very, very bright future. Thank you
Thank
so much
you.
for joining us. Have a wonderful evening. And I thank the audience for watching us and always inspiring us. Thank you,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.